Today's video, I'm going to be breaking down, in my opinion, what is going to be one of the better offenses post-patch, and an offense that got a lot better after the patch, and that is the Indianapolis Colts offensive ebook. That offense is totally back. If you guys want to check out my Colts ebook, I'm going to be updating it for you guys post-patch, but that's going to be in our school community. If you're not a school member yet, it's only $10 to be one. It gets you access to all of my offensive and defensive ebooks. So if you guys want to check that out, that link is going to be in the description below. All right, so this offense is entirely centered around double post, right? But also features really good red zone formations such as trip set and offset, Y off trips normal here, and then some decent under center stuff, single back wing slot, single back wing tight. These are some decent under center formations that you have. For this video, we're going to be focusing in on bunch. I'm going to be giving you some of my favorite plays out of this. My go-to audibles for bunch right now are, I kind of like the Z spot and go play, but I'm actually going to be subbing this out, and I'm going to be using the corner play, corner out dig. I do think that's a nice quick snap play, but let's go ahead and get on the field. Let me grab double post. Accidentally audibled over to PA Reed, but since double mug got patched, this offense got a lot better. So the reason why is because double mug and really just press man coverage is pretty good against Colts, but especially with a good blitz behind it. So first setup is a streak on the slot receiver, and you just snap the ball. And really what you're looking for on this play is you're looking for this post to get underneath of these deep blue zones. Now, I will say one of the biggest changes post-patch in this game is that these outside quarters and outside thirds, they drop way back. So you want to be throwing a lot more comebacks and C routes type of routes. Another thing that I wanted to talk about kind of post-patch with this game is this wheel route. Again, I talked about how the quarter zone kind of super backs up. You can throw that wheel route against really anything that's not cover 4. So cover 3, cover 2, you're going to be able to throw this wheel when he cuts up field. It's going to take him a little bit, but you see there that outside third is not going to guard that. You can just throw that deep route. The other thing is, my deck's favorite setup in the game, this is honestly probably the play I call the most right now. Just drag the slot receiver, snap the ball. What you're going to see here is the C route is really the route that is, I think, really good on this play. This is against a shaded down cover 4 or shaded down cover 3. You're going to see consistently that I can throw the C route. I'm not pass leading it really anyway. I'm not free forming it. I'm just pass leading it down to the outside. Now, if you see here that guy drops back like that, then you can just dump it down to your drag and just take what the defense gives you. Another thing that's a really good read this year, these yellow zones back up a lot. So hitting this running back on that underneath is always a good read. And then if they're not going to hard flat on your tight end, you can try to throw this out here. I will say that seems to me to be a little bit more of a difficult throw. That being said, if they're playing cover 2, the main reads that I want you to make is I want you to try to hit that tight end and truck upfield, get easy yardage that way. Another good read against cover 2, especially if they're not double flatting, is your backside drag. This drag right here, really good. Again, I think the kind of like take your 5 yards is really good right now in Madden, and so that's why I like double post. The second play, and the play you have to talk about if you're going to talk about Colts, is verts halfback under. All you have to do is snap the ball. Literally all you have to do is snap the ball. Now, a lot of people are going to switch stick onto the crosser, which is why I want you to really look at that running back route. A lot of times that running back route is going to be something that you can throw. Another route, let's say that they play really good against that running back route, kind of late in the play, you can throw this with a pass lead down into the inside to the tight end. Really nice little read there. If they're going to really use her across the middle of the field well, then you can throw this crosser kind of up in that left side seam. This is situationally more so when the user is going to really bite down to the running back. You can kind of throw this into this little pocket right here in the seam area of the field. Another underrated use of verticals is against cover 2. So against cover 2 with this play, you can throw this wheel route. I'm just going to freeform that up and to the right. And as you can see, it's going to be a nice way to attack cover 2. One of the things that you're going to see people start to go into a little bit more now post-patch is you're going to see a little bit more of this. little bit more double flat, a little bit more double Mabel here. So they're going to almost always go guard the crossing route. So every now and then, if you just want to sneak your running back out in the backfield on a streak, I think that's perfectly fine and very useful because of kind of where he's going to get to on the field and just gets into kind of a unique spot against the defense. One of my next setups out of double posts that I really like is to streak my slot receiver, drag my tight end, streak my running back, and basically run the play like this. You could also utilize a speed out stemmed between 10 to 15 yards here. And again, these are just helpful for getting that high-low read to the left side of the screen, because you have to do a lot. Like, you're going to see a lot of switch sticking to take away this post route. And so when they have to do all this stuff to go guard this post route, that's where this backside, like high-low between the out route and the out route and the comeback, or I'm sorry, the out route and the drag route are really, really, really effective. Another combo that I like out of this would be motion out, but now we're going to utilize kind of a combo like this. Again, just takes advantage of kind of that intermediate area of the field, trying to force them to have to shade underneath and have 4 underneath zones is really, really key in this game. The next route combo that I like is out of the play corner out dig. And what we're going to do here is we're going to stem this corner down 1, and we're just going to streak the tight end and snap the ball. And you're going to see here that this corner route can kind of be thrown against cover 4. I will say that cover 4 is not exactly like the best case scenario for throwing this, but you can actually kind of hit this against like a shaded down cover 4. First read is obviously going to be this out route, but this corner route this year, as you see, I can kind of possession catch it. This is how bad deep zones are right now. You can basically just throw right at them. But what we're really ultimately trying to get here is this is just a combo that we're going to use to attack kind of cover 2. So if they go to cover 2, this high-lows them in the flat. So a lot of times you see here, see how he squats on that. But then what that's going to leave open is if he defends that underneath out route, you're going to be able to just throw the corner route. So let me go to corner divide. So the way I would hot route it is I would stem him down 1 and streak the tight end and snap the ball quick. Here you see there's cover 2. And now we're able to take the top off the defense in a cover 2 situation. So this is one of those plays that I feel like a lot of times they're going to switch stick. Once they see anyone sees a corner out and bunch, they're going to switch stick it almost always. So when they do that, this is where, let's say they switch stick to the vert hook or they switch stick to somebody out of the middle of the field. Well, then we can kind of like step up, and if we have time, we can throw that out, that backside in route. So let me try to hopefully kind of explain this a little better. Again, let me put a little kind of a double flat over there to the right side and see if we can show you this in route. But basically, if they switch stick, this in route kind of gets into the soft spot. And again, this is so important, but just simple setups, like even verticals with a table route is really good this year because people aren't playing hard flats. They aren't playing 5-yard hook curls. We want to cause them to have 4 guys underneath. And if we can force them into that, that's going to open up some things for us. Another setup that I like to utilize in this offense is basically a streak post, kind of a combination like this, if you will. And the reason this is really effective, you can motion the running back to the right if you want to cancel any kind of match. This is just a really effective play because it forces switch stick to that right sideline. If they switch stick to the right sideline, which they almost always will switch stick to the right sideline, and you could do it out of bunch nasty or this, they're not going to expect it as much out of this. It's kind of just a universal bunch concept this year. But you can throw this tight end in the seam as well. This is another thing that I'll typically do out of a 5-wide situation. So again, if we want to do this out of double posts, we can use the running back out route. That's kind of neat. And then we could run it like this as well. Okay. And again, what you're going to see, okay, they switch stick. Now we can just take our underneath route over the middle of the field. So as I said, the Colts playbook as a whole is kind of underratedly can struggle against man coverage. But I will say this running back in route has been pretty reliable this year for beating man consistently. It didn't quite give me perfect separation there. Another play that I like for beating man is just this basic smash return. So we're just going to utilize a curl, and you can stem that curl all the way up or a streak, whatever you want to do. But what you're going to see here is, like, let's say it is a curl, then you can basically lob it over the top of any kind of cover zero press. So I'll just show the curl. So you see here, see how he's going to get on top of him, and then you can basically high point it or give yourself a chance over the top. Let me actually go to a cover zero, and you'll kind of see this a little better. So what you'll see is he's going to get a free release off this guy, and can't quite get the ball out because for some reason practice mode just makes every blitz Zeus apparently whenever you play it. I don't know why. But anyway, you're going to have this. Let's just block release this guy just to give us a second. As you see, this streak is going to be there for you. So anyways, you have that. The other thing you have against man is these return routes. One of the reasons I like Colts is because it has a lot of zigs and a lot of return routes, right? So you have this tight end corner. I think people need to look at this a little bit more. I think it's actually pretty good. I think it just gets good spacing. And, for example, a combo you could run out of smash return. Let me show you real quick. So a combo you could run out of smash return if you wanted to would be something like this, right? You could do something like this. Now watch this pocket the tight end's going to run into. Just kind of gets into a soft spot. It's going to be kind of a read they might not expect, right? But again, a good setup for smash return for man would be something like this. You have your streak, and then you have your tight end route that you want to look for. Normally that tight end route is going to be your money route against man coverage. In practice mode, Madden just likes to make everything harder because they just make you bump into everything. But in general, this is a pretty decent little... There you see a little bit more accurate of what's actually going to happen in a game. You're going to get stuff like that. One of my recent favorite ways to run smash return, though, because what a lot of people will do is they'll basically put this guy in a hard flat, and then they'll crossman or user. So anyway, what I like to do against this is to go to smash return and just literally slant the tight end and streak this slot. And what this is going to do is the hard flat will go down to the running back, and then you can throw your tight end across the field. Kind of a little thing, but I think it is pretty helpful. And then, of course, you have all the bunch nasty stuff that we like to do. So you could go to dagger, just put the tight end on a post, snap the ball. You're looking at your high-low in the middle of the field. Notice, again, the yellow zones are going to drop out a lot. I'm dead serious, guys. You want to make them have to respect the under center. This is what makes Colts good. What I'm able to do in terms of making them have to respect kind of my under center passing or my underneath passing. This is what makes, in my opinion, this is what makes Colts really, really good, right? I don't know what's going on right there, but the guy was wide open. So then once they do start to respect that, that's where a play out of smash return where we're doing something like this. Watch this post route. You can kind of throw this into a soft spot against the zones as well. So you have all those things in Colts. You also have a couple other plays that I just want to highlight, and I'm going to do so by using them in the audibles here. I wanted to highlight Z-spot and go, dig return, and bench pivot. I do think those are probably the best bang for your bucks in terms of good plays out of bunch. So dig return, really another great bunch play. You need to be mixing this in. This combination of flat and then this super late zig is really, really good. Here the defense played it pretty decently. But one of the things that you can do at a dig return is kind of that same idea, where we're using that backside post. So you see how we get that clear out, and then we get that whip kind of in that nice spot on the field. So you have dig return. Another thing you can do in bunch is you can always kind of mix in this bunch wide. Another really good setups here would be something like this. At a dig return, you kind of have that seam streak to the running back that's really good out of this formation. And then you also have the dig return setup. Another thing you have in bunch wide, I guess I don't have my audibles quite set up here. But another thing you would have in bunch wide would be a combination like this. This to me is a really, really good route combo this year. And it's kind of similar to corner out divide, right? But now we have a speed out over there, and then we're also, kind of forcing them to use the corner route, and then we have that backside. to be able to attack them with. So Z spot and go, you have just a stem on the corner route, and now you're using a stem down corner, right? This is, and of course the hook curl is going to, I'm telling you, if you don't put your hook curls on 5, then they will literally just do whatever they want on the field. Here I'm going to shade down, and you're going to see that time the corner route was open. I just have the good old instant shed glitch of practice mode is the gift that keeps on giving, I think. But anyway, if you look at this play, what I like about it is just now the slot receiver is the threat, right? So this is just good. It's just good against cover 2 sink. And then let's say they switch stick. Let's say you're running this and they decide they want to switch stick to the right side, and we force them to have to defend the flat on the left. Well, then we can just kind of come back side here and try to hit that C route. Again, I really like the C routes right now because they're hard. They're just hard to defend. Bench pivot, just drag the tight end, snap the ball. Now you have that slot receiver on the whip as opposed to the outside receiver, and then you have a backside in instead of a front side in route. So those are just little pieces to be able to utilize here. Here you'll see again. You really just want to wear out the underneath, in my opinion, this year. I really am a big believer in setups like what I showed you at a double post. You can try to run some double corner. If you want to run like you would want a deep corner here, something like this. This isn't terrible. As you see, it kind of messes up the zones. So you can still use double corner. It's just not as good as it was last year. And then you have everything that you want out of this as well. So like you can still go to wide trail. I like to just stem this corner all the way down, snap the ball. I got a high-low there, and then I got kind of a high-low in the middle of the field between the post and the trail route. And then another play that I really like out of this is just mesh flat spot, kind of showing what we talked about with the post. We see there the yellow's back up, so we can just throw our drag right underneath. And then obviously just audibling around in general, right? Audibling around. You have tight open, which is one of the most underrated formations in this game. It's a really nice, just little tight set, kind of can audible to this situationally and take advantage of different types of ways to attack the defense. And then you also have this U-off trips, which has, in my opinion, the best RPO in the game. This RPO read flat, they're almost never able to consistently guard the tight end route. So mixing all this together, I think, makes Colts and puts Colts back in its rightful place as one of the top offenses in the game. And if you want to learn how I run the offense, join our school community. The link to sign up for that is in the description below.